All right, so let's start with the big story that we're tracking on WION at this hour. British Health Minister, Matt Hancock, has said that another strain of COVID-19 has been detected in the United Kingdom, which reportedly, he claims, originated from South Africa. Now, according to Hancock, the recent developments are highly concerning, as the new variant is said to be highly transmissible and appears to have mutated even further.
Across the country, cases have risen 57% in the last week. The average COVID hospital admissions are 1,909 a day. That's the highest figure since mid-April. There are 18,943 people in hospital with coronavirus right now. That's almost as many as there were at the peak. And yesterday, there were 691 deaths reported. That's 691 people who have died just before Christmas. And our hearts go out to their families, their loved ones, as with all who've died from this horrible disease. I know the pain that this causes. So against this backdrop of rising infections, rising hospitalizations, and rising numbers of people dying from coronavirus, it is absolutely vital that we act.
Now, there are two mutant strains of the coronavirus that are circulating worldwide, at least two that have been reported very prominently as having mutated recently into something that is said to be much more severe. The first one is said to have originated within the United Kingdom after mutation, and another from South Africa. The United Kingdom has been struck by both of these strains, forcing the government to impose even tougher restrictions. Now, all travellers from South Africa coming to the United Kingdom in the last 2 weeks have been asked to isolate immediately.
Some developments about another new strain of this virus. Of course, the fight against the virus is a global effort, and we're constantly vigilant and looking around the world. And as part of our surveillance, and thanks to the impressive genomic capability of the South Africans, we've detected 2 cases of another new variant of coronavirus here in the UK. Both are contacts of cases who have travelled from South Africa over the past few weeks.
All right, now scientists know very little about this new variant, but it is said to be much more infectious than the original strain. They've also observed a higher incidence rate amongst children, which means that kids are more vulnerable to this mutated virus. Now, all this confusion and chaos in the United Kingdom is, of course, spreading a bit like wildfire. The country has reported nearly 40,000 cases in a single day, and over 740 deaths have been recorded, which is the highest since the month of April. Now, what the governments of other nations have failed to do so far with China, they're doing that again with Britain. Britain now stands cut off from the world. At least about 50 nations have reportedly banned travel from the United Kingdom, and that too in a matter of few days. And we earlier spoke with our correspondent Ollie Barrett, who joined in from London and told us as to what the situation presently is like within Britain.
Because the scientists are still in early stages of looking at all of this. There is an advanced study of what this new strain looks like and how transmissible it is in South Africa, but even there scientists are still learning. They were able, though, to tip off UK officials about the potential presence of this new variant in the United Kingdom. And now that 2 cases have been found, given that it is at this point just 2 cases, the hope in the UK will be to keep it at that number with the travel restrictions that are being put in place on South Africa and the quarantine measures that are also being put in place here in the UK on anyone who's been to South Africa recently or who has been in contact with anyone who has been in South Africa. So the aim will be to keep that newest variant completely under control here in the UK in a way that has not been possible with the other new variant that had been discovered some time back in Britain and is now spreading rapidly.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.